So that just kind of lets you know right there. But I mean, I know it's dicey though. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's the sport you choose, I guess. It's the sport you choose. Now, Rudy, something else that I was going to ask you earlier, going back to the Mayweather situation. Just think about the fact that he fought your brother for his first title 16 years ago, and now today he's still undefeated, still considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. What is your assessment on Floyd Mayweather today?
I think Floyd is a crafty veteran today. He still holds on. You know what? He's a prime example as what a fighter should be. A fighter has to be in shape 24/7 every single day of his boxing career, and he takes care of himself. That means that he doesn't abuse his body by putting junk or when I mean junk, it's like alcohol or drugs or any kind of those shit. And that's why he is where he's at. And he's got a gift that not most fighters have today, and that he's able to read his opponent. So his opponent to do something that'll pick his that defense brain of Floyd, and he already knows what the guy's thinking of doing before he even does it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's rare. It's rare to see someone at that age. I mean, what you think about that, Norin?
Floyd, yeah, like Rudy said, it's almost like a spider sense or an extra sense. Like you said, he's reading the opponent. He sees, he's looking at the body language, and it's just a slight twitch, and he knows what's coming. You know what I mean? And he knows exactly how to respond to it in a split second, in a nanosecond, like feline reflexes.
And
it's ideal for a boxer. My bad, Rudy.
And then the most important part is that you don't have those challengers like they used to have back in the day. I mean, like, what do you think? How do you think Floyd would have handled a Tommy Hearns or
I asked that.
Or
Aaron Pryor.
Styles.
Yeah. And well, I'm gonna get well to it now. If we go back to 140, okay, yeah, Aaron Pryor, Sang Zurin, a guy who won a world title with only his only third professional fight, and went on to make 10 title defenses. I mean, when you got guys that you had challengers back then that were all very, very competitive and could have all been world champions at one time or another. But today, come on, man, you got guys coming in from the lightweight division and speak to the ones who have been challenging him. And I don't know, man. It's just like.
Hey, interesting enough question, because as a fan, I do fantasy boxing all the time. You know what I mean? So what do you think Floyd would have looked like against a Tommy Hearns? I think that's one of the most compelling matchups.
I think that's his most competitive
history.
Fight. That type of almost.
That the right hand, the length, the reach.
I don't see how it's competitive.
You don't think it's even competitive?
Hearns would have touched him. Hearns would have touched him.
I just don't see how it's competitive. When you have Tommy Hearns, who is as tall as he was, and who had that strong, long jab, and he finished you off with a right hand. If Shane Mosley could hurt,
can get to Floyd with that right hand.
With the right hand, I mean, really? What do you think Tommy would have done with him?
Now let me say.
I don't care where he hits him.
Yeah, let me say this. Tommy had a problem fighting going backwards, which is difficult for a lot of boxers to fight and be effective going backwards. Do you think Floyd would have been able to capitalize off of that and maybe exploit that situation somehow with his boxing IQ?
Yeah.
Well, who has Floyd ever made go back? I mean, who has he ever pushed back?
He's backed up a couple fighters. He's backed up a couple fighters. He was backing up Shane Mosley. You brought up Shane Mosley right after Floyd got knocked down. He was backing him up in the last minute of that round.
I've seen him walk a few fighters down.
Oh yeah, he didn't walk down a couple fighters.
People forget Floyd could fight, man.
Yeah. I mean, he was even backing up Canelo at some points, and Canelo was almost 20 pounds bigger than him. You know, it's really hard, yeah, when we trying to compare,
Of course.
today's era versus
Of course.
yesterday's era. All I would say is I truly believe Mayweather would be competitive with all of those guys, because one thing Mayweather has over a lot of these guys is his IQ to adjust.
Yep.
And a lot of the fighters in all different eras, they had problems when they were frustrated and they couldn't figure it out. They weren't able to just adapt and adjust and figure it out. Floyd Mayweather, he was in a dicey situation with Maidana, and he figured it out. A lot of people, they wouldn't have figured it out, So I just believe he would have been able to compete with a lot of those guys,
And I agree. I think Floyd is
Now,
competitive.
remember, I only used Tommy Hearns. I didn't say Sugar Ray Leonard or anybody else.
Right.
I just think that Tommy Hearns would have been he would have had his number.
I agree. Well, I agree that would be one of his toughest. I think that would have been one of his toughest. I don't know if he would have beat him, but
I think Floyd.
We'll never know.
I think
We'll never know.
yeah,
We'll
true.
never know.
I think Floyd is competitive in any era, but for the record, I agree with you, Rudy. I think Tommy Hearns would have got to him with that right hand.
yeah.
He's now remember now against everybody else, I'll even go as far as to say that I believe that Floyd Mayweather would have beaten Roberto Duran in the
I think
lightweight
so
division.
too.
Oh yeah, he was. It would seem like he was tailor made. I mean, yeah. No, but I like I said, I'll go as far as to saying that I think, with the natural attributes that what's his name Hearns had, he would definitely be a difficult puzzle for Floyd to figure out. No doubt about it.
Come on, don't
He said, no.
I'm getting a sense that that Floyd might be hearing, huh?
Hey, speak the truth. Speak the truth, Rudy. Speak the truth,
He's
Rudy.
in the studio right here now.
He watching live like, damn, Rudy, like that? No.
He's off camera with
You
me.
know what? There's not one person in boxing that would ever say that I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan. I like everything about him. I enjoy watching I didn't miss a fight that he's ever had. I watch him. It's just great to watch him fight. But when you look when we have these fantasy fights, Floyd has never lost to anybody. But there's only one guy that I think that just would have been, I don't think it's as competitive.
You don't even think it's competitive?
Yeah, not as competitive, because I'm thinking more like let's say like a kind of like a Duran, Tommy Hearns type. He's just too tall, too big, and it's just that one kryptonite that guy that had, and it was just him. He's the only guy that I think that he couldn't have been competitive against. Everybody else, I think he just pretty much is very competitive against them all. Like I said, I think he beat Duran. Duran is considered to be like the greatest lightweight of all time, or at least one of the top between 1 and 3. And I think that Floyd was better than Duran.
I agree.
No,
and I think he's competitive against all of them. And he could have been champion in any era.
I agree.
Now at 130 pounds, if we leave Floyd at 130 pounds, he would have been the best and the greatest 130 pounds ever. No one would have been better than him. The only guy that, like competitive, probably Hector Camacho at 130. And only those who really saw who Hector Camacho was at 130 would understand how great he was at 130.
With speed, he was definitely one of the fastest. Camacho, another one, rest in peace.
And he was strong, and he was fast, mentally strong and physically strong, and the guy he was the best at that time. Other than that, when he moved on up, the party scene and him, doing what he thought was the best at the time to do, it kind of shortened his career, but yes, he went on to fight a lot for many years.